Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Strategy Gaming Dojo, where we're finding and learning and turning the great strategy games. Today, back into the biggest and the best, Gary Grigsby's War in the Pacific Admirals Edition. This is our play by email challenge against Lodric, and Lodric has been on the front foot. This will be the combat resolution for December 29th and December 30th of 1941, so we're almost into 1942. And we'll see what old Lodric had in store for us this turn. Of course, he's continuing to push in the Philippines, in Malaysia, down towards Singapore. He's pressuring us a little bit in the East Indies. He hasn't landed there yet, but it's probably not too far away. He's also now starting to land in southern Borneo. He's also already taken most of northern Borneo. He's in and around Rabaul, which is the stepping stone then to Port Moresby and ultimately potentially Australia. We'll see. We've shifted tactics on our cargo. I will say this turn, I'm trying to get troops into Rangoon. Now, he did have a task force in and around there. We're trying to get him into the port. We'll see how that plays out. I can already tell you, not particularly well. Now, I don't want to be too spoilery, but let's just go ahead and see the action, see all the bombing he does in China as he loves to do and for good reason. So anyway, let's check it out. December 29th, December 30th, 1941. All right, we begin our naval reaction phase and loading and unloading. He's unloading here at Sarong. This is on the very northern tip of Dutch New Guinea. And so we've got coastal guns there. Now, they're not particularly effective at a place like Sarong, not really. But we took a shot. He's got a couple of AKs that are bringing things in here, it seems. All right, we're going to have a lot of mergings as we have had. This is our sub. It's a Dutch sub. It's been attacked by a Japanese destroyer, it seems. That could be bad news. He's dropping depth charges, and it looks like maybe he got a hit there. We'll see. Yeah, he got a hit. Certainly. Hits three, and so the Dutch subs they're kind of the best you've got early on, or at least the most effective because their torpedoes actually work. Uh, Two destroyers, though. You run into two destroyers, you're going to have some problems. He took three hits. He did not sink, and so he'll head back to Surabaya and our big submarine port there. Now, this is the transports I'm trying to get into Rangoon, and as you can see, they got caught by two battleships. I think those are battleships. They could be cruisers, but it does not go well for them. We've got an AKL, two AKLs, an AK. Oh, this may actually be a transport group. My bad. You can see that just sunk there. You can see them go down. These are actually all small little AKLs. Okay, and let's make sure. Yep, they're all those 1 point ships. So we lost the Hermeline, the Mabella, the Ardent, the Agnes St. Quentin. We were trying to get cargo in here. Then we lost to two of the 5 point cargo ships, the Nirvana and the Nirpura. And so everything there got sunk. We'll see what he's got. It was two cruisers actually. So two cruisers, a lot of destroyers he's got up here by Rangoon now, which is really, really aggressive. We'll have to counter that and maybe get over there and play around with him on the surface. All told, we lose about, it looks like a lot. It's about 15 points, I think, total. So maybe my transport ship did get in. I wasn't paying complete attention when I watched this first time, and I knew that I was trying to send transports in there, but those were the cargo ships, and if he's going to hit those, that's okay. I mean, it's not ideal, but they're a bunch of 1 point cargo ships. All right, he's truly landed in Sarong now. You can see his troops here, and he's now bombarding the coast. And now he's going to bombard here at Ternate as well. Ternate, one of the first bases, as you get down here by the Seram Sea. You start seeing this like Monado, Ternate. Eventually, he'll be in on Ambon, Kendari, all pretty good bases for him to stage out of. Now, there's a bunch of bases out in these islands that I don't know. I mean, he won't completely bypass them, but they're they're not certainly they're certainly not so important that he'll come after him right at the top. Now he's landing at Dejanas, so this is the southern tip of Mindanao. He did take a few casualties there, but he is now landed on the southern island of the Philippines. All right, this is the Tessin Maru, and it is attempting to bombard here at Sarong as well. We're firing shots from the coastal guns, but they haven't hit anything yet, and usually they won't. Tarakan has good coastal guns. A few other places on the map do, but Sarong, Ternate, they are not places where you're going to see coastal guns just ripping things apart. Okay, so now this is the second task force that was coming into Rangoon. He got up here faster than I expected, and as you can see, these are more AKs that are going to go down and an AP. We do have an AP in here, that's transport, and as you can see, so we got both of these task forces. The Endura, I think, is probably a 10 or 12 point ship. These are 1 point ships. I think the Nord is only a 2 or a 3. We did have a destroyer escort. That's a 4 point ship. The PGs are 2 point ships, I believe. And so we were trying to get this in here before he got to Rangoon. I have to say, he completely surprised me here by having, a full surface fleet up and around Rangoon. That's just a good job by him. Now, we didn't lose anything critical here by any stretch of the imagination. We got a couple of hits in on a cruiser. Who knows? I don't, maybe it got damaged bad enough it can't make it back to Japan. I guess we'll see. But we did get a couple of shell hits. We lost about, 15, 17 more points there. All right, a few of those ships did actually get into port at Rangoon, damaged as they were. So we got some of that in there. I can tell you the troops did get off, so we didn't lose the troops. Um, they were fished out of the sea potentially. But all told, I mean, we ended up losing about 12 or 13 ships there. You never want to do that. But again, it's nothing, critical. But it's the kind of thing I got to be a little more careful because he's being so aggressive. You just hardly ever see someone come into Rangoon with the surface fleet that fast. All right, he's obviously got carriers out here somewhere. We don't see them on the map right now, but he's sending in 40 zeros. Those are coming off carriers. We do have cap that'll go up. He's doing a sweep, but those zeros are just going to rip apart demons and 339Ds, and that's what he's doing there. He's also now coming in and sweeping over Singapore. We actually didn't put any cap up there. And so he just flew over the top of Singapore, waved to everybody, and headed back. He's also sweeping above Cheng Chao and now sweeping above Cheng Shaw. Again, no cap up and in those places. He's just being a little cautious there to sweep across the top to make sure we don't have cap that could endanger some of his bombers. We do hit a Nell here. He's ground bombing. We took 8 casualties. Now he's bombing into Batavia again. I'm sorry, this was just a sweep. 4 zeros across the top. Nothing happened there. 53 Bettys coming here at Vegan. Whoops, sorry about that. I had a package at the door. So I had to step away for just 1 second. I just put it on pause. I don't know if you even noticed. 53 Bettys came in here in China for a ground bombing campaign. We damaged three of them. 326 casualties, though. That's massive. Massive. 326 casualties in a bombing. Looks like he's sweeping over Singapore again. He's looking around for our cap, but he finds none. All right, he's got three Mabels that are coming in on Pacao. We've moved this unit down here because it didn't have a good place to get out of here. He's blocked it a little bit. We took 7 casualties there. Now this is a little bit bigger force, 21 Sonias, again hitting this Pacao, which is a port down here. We were trying to march these guys up here. They got blocked. I said, you know what? Let's just put them back in the base. 15 casualties reported. He's got Marys and Sonias coming in on this unit out here. This unit's trying to come link up with this. It's been blocked, trying to get back into Cheng Chao. He comes in with 18 Marys, 23 Sonias. We damaged 3 Sonias and took 54 casualties there. All right, he's going to hit these units that are trying to get back to Yan'an. We took 58 casualties there. And then this bigger group that's he's got a couple of units out here. We can't see him right now, but he's got well, I say a couple of units, a couple of counters out here. We're not sure exactly their strength, although they're indicating dark red, so probably fairly strong. Um, he's bombing this. 14 casualties reported there. And now again, another one of these units trying to make its way back to Yan'an. We get one damaged plane and a few casualties. This is out by Pao Tao. He's hit this unit over and over and over again. 28 casualties. All right, 22 more casualties. Again, it all adds up, but it's really, knocking down the effectiveness. All right, he's bombing outside of Changsha here. This unit's trying to get down here to this kind of merging where all the roads merge up. I've got another unit here. These units are trying to get there. We take 49 casualties there. All right, 25 Idas in, 28 casualties here. Now, this is the other unit up by Pao Tao, or other group of units up by Pao Tao. I'm trying to link these two up to make it a little stronger, but they've gotten a just absolute bejesus bombed out of them. Another group trying to get back to Yan'an, and they take no casualties there. This same group coming down the road into this hex, no casualties there. You can see he's moved just outside Singapore now. We'll see if he's just content to sit there and try to, starve them out, or if he's going to actually try to, you know, uh, do a full-on assault. We shall see. All right, the game canceled some of his bombing missions because of bad weather. Now he's going to bomb this unit that's coming down the way here, trying to get back to Singapore, or at least pressure this unit that's outside Singapore. So we're on both sides of him. Now we damaged 2 Nels and a Betty, and took 60 casualties ourselves. Now he's bombing into Brunei, where the last unit we had in North Borneo, well, it's technically Brunei itself, up here just north of Sarawak. It's the last unit we have in northern Borneo, and he's going to expel them out of Brunei very soon. Now, whether the Sultan makes it out, I don't know. 6 Nels in on this group. We took 14 casualties. Now he's bombing. Now all of these units are trying to link up down here to mount some kind of defense together, a comprehensive defense. They've been a little spread out for a while. I've been trying to get them together, but they keep getting interdicted by bombing. 6 casualties reported there. Japanese torpedo bomber. 6 sallies in on this group that did make it out. It's west of the Japanese forces for the most part. We damaged one of his planes there. All right, he's in on this group again. 21 ands, 29 casualties for us, and 8 more ands in on that group. Now he's bombing very strongly just north of Kukong. That is a big force. 6 Nates, 15 Idas, 6 Lilies, 12 Sonias. We took 15 casualties. All right, a lot of sightings going on here. Okay, he's got an amphibious group right off of Tarakan. That means a big old battleship is going away, and you can see our coastal guns are firing out. Now, I joked in our previous Let's Play that the guns of Tarakan are just incredible, and usually they are. Usually they will get several hits in on the Japanese as they try to land. As you can see, we're firing. He's bombarding like crazy, and look, we got some hits. I love it. We took 30 or I'm sorry, he took 30 casualties. We took 186 casualties. But the big news here is we hit a battleship. We got a shell hit in. Who knows what kind of damage we got there? We also hit a destroyer, and we have a cargo ship on fire. And so this bombardment group that he brought up here, we have answered back with the guns of Tarakan, and hopefully, man, I would love to take out a battleship or something crazy like that. He's unloading on the beach. He takes 38 casualties there. Now, we should get some more shots with the coastal guns. Hopefully, we'll do a little more damage even than that. Now, he's on Ternate here. Coastal guns are firing, but they don't do any damage as he softens up our defensive forces. All right, we got the land attack phase, and he is attacking in Manila. So this is a big one. You can see he's got a lot more combat value than we do. We've got a big force at Clark Field. We've got a fairly large force at Manila. It's bigger at Clark. He's moved into both hexes here, and so the fall of the Philippines is nigh, but we seem to have held him off there. And we'll see. He had 1675 in assault value. We had 524. We did have a fort level to a 3, I believe, but he knocked it down to a 1. Um, his adjusted was 1730, ours was 725, so his assault odds were 2 to 1. He took 3,700 casualties on this assault. We took 2,250. All right, so that was actually a pretty good result for us given the assault values. All right, this is out down the road here. Another group trying to get over to Yan'an. He's attacking them. They don't. Yeah, they eventually they just had nothing left really. They had been bombed into submission. There were 1,000 men left, so we took 1,045 casualties. Now he's hitting outside Pao Tao again. This is the group he's just bombed relentlessly. This group gets expelled out of that hex and has to retreat down the road as he continues. I am curious to see how far he'll try to, you know, chase him or chase that unit. I would like to see that unit rebuild. I don't want him to just, uh, have free reign up there by Pao Tao. Now we do have those other units that are in the hex very close, but we'll see. All right, so he attacks our group that's trying to get into Pontianak. He takes 154 casualties. We take 446. Again, he's bombing. No, he's attacking. I'm sorry. He's attacking one of these groups trying to get back to Yan'an. Now, this one still has a decent amount of strength left. It couldn't hold them off because he's got quite a bit of strength. 364 we're seeing on the adjusted. He took 582 casualties. We took almost 2,000. All right, back into Sarong here as he tries to take the base, and they do capture Sarong. And so now the Japanese are on the northern tip of Dutch New Guinea. Now he's going to attack into Brunei. Did we actually hold him off there? He took 13 casualties, we took 34. Okay, he's going to try it again. Oh, this is in Tarakan. My bad. My bad. I saw this highlighted, but here's the bullseye. Uh, he took 10 casualties, so he tried an attack here. It was just a bombardment attack into Tarakan with no success. Now, we do have an infantry unit there, or a couple of them. Now, it's not enough to hold off the Japanese for any period of time, but if we can hold them off for a couple of turns, our coastal guns can fire again, which is what I want. All right, and I think that about does it for December 29th. And we'll move into December 30th. So December 29th, we lost a lot of ships just outside of Rangoon. Again, nothing critical, but a little mad at myself for that one. Probably should have pulled those back and ran something up there, just one ship or something, and one little AKL. And if that way we uncover his task force. Now we could not see his task force down there even though we've got the flying tigers flying all over the place, we had no read on that. So I don't have any float planes that are out and around Rangoon, and that cost us a little bit. There's not a particularly good way to get float planes over there or other recon planes anyway. All right, we had a couple of low garrisons there in China. Oh, and you see the Yorktown just arrived in San Diego. So we did get our new carrier. We've got the British Duchess. The Athol Duke arrives at Cape Town. We have a squadron of planes that came into Aden. All right, we've got some New Zealand regiments that come in. Hey, that construction battalion just landed in Bataan. What a terrible stationing there. They're probably like, oh, wait a minute. The Philippines is about to fall. We don't want to go do construction. All right. So it is December 30th. You saw all of those things. The big headliners, the Yorktown. We get our fourth carrier. Now we're hopelessly outnumbered with carriers, but if you pick your spots, like the Allies did at Coral Sea and elsewhere, you can sometimes have some success. Okay, so now he's trying to bombard Tarakan again, and we hit him again. Now we didn't get one of the battleships, unfortunately. We did hit the other AK here. Shell hits one, and we got this AK again, and it's on fire. So, we've had some success. We've hit 3 or 4 ships out there. We have no idea how badly that battleship is damaged, but that would be excellent. We also hit that cruiser over by Rangoon. So it's possible we got a few of his bigger ships. Again, he was hitting Ternate there. I just kind of accidentally went through that. Okay, this is Allied Task Force. Yeah, we don't want to find this task force. He's got a task force out here. Um, this is near Palmyra. Okay, so he's got a bigger force down here near Palmyra. He's got 3 cruisers and a bunch of destroyers. He hits a 1-point AKL, but that's kind of good to know. Now, I mean, obviously, we've got all of our carriers at Pearl Harbor. He may be trying to lure us out. That is certainly possible. But that's pretty aggressive because we could certainly get our carriers together, move down there, and try to do something about that. Amphibious offshore at Rabaul. This is a cruiser that's bombarding the coast, along with a couple of destroyers, a heavy cruiser, a light cruiser, 2 destroyers. He took 16 casualties. The invasion of Rabaul is nigh. He's unloading at Rabaul. Here it is. Okay, 9 casualties he takes as he unloads there. Now we've got a fairly decent force at Rabaul, and so hopefully we can fight him off, or if he doesn't bring enough, sometimes you can knock him right back off the beach. Um, Task forces are returning to port. Okay, he's unloading at Rabaul. You can see here he's got these ships in support. He took 11 casualties, defensive guns fired approaching troops from 2,000 feet. Okay, so our defensive guns are engaging. He takes some casualties. We'll see how strong of a force he brought. He's again unloading at Tarakan. This AK was on fire. We hit it again, and it's still on fire. He's still got the battleship and a destroyer in here, an AMC. But these guns of Tarakan are banging away at him, and we've definitely caused some damage on this landing, far more than we have anyplace else. All right, this is a Dutch sub that's out here north of Borneo. Unfortunately, it ran into a cruiser and 5 destroyers, and so we have a Dutch sub with heavy damage. We didn't see it sink there. I can tell you, just having started to set up the next turn, that he is trying to make it limp back to Surabaya. So he didn't. Okay, we're getting some kind of wild sightings here out on the west coast and whatnot. Okay, these are a bunch of sightings. Now he's sweeping over Chengchao, and we got a couple of I-15s up, and well, we got one up, and it was destroyed. Now he's going to sweep out over Batavia. We have quite a bit of cap at Batavia, but he's got 39 zeros. There's not a whole lot you're going to do about that. Aircraft losses, we had our 339 was destroyed and 2 of our 3 demons was destroyed. Look, they're just not going to be able to hang with zeros, but you send them up anyway and you hope to take out a few here or there. 11 zeros sweeping over Singapore, no cap there for them. Okay, sweeping out over Chengchao, now sweeping out over Changsha, and we got one I-15 up. I bet you he's got zero chance of doing anything. And hey, he made it. He made it back to the airfield somehow. Those aren't the odds you're looking for with your I-15s, but he made it. Now he's bombing. Okay, 1 nil damage. We took 8 casualties. Zeros sweeping over Batavia again. No doing there. Now he's going to bomb Vigan with 52 Bettys. He really wants this. Yeah, 335 casualties. We did damage 3 planes, but that's a massive bombing force. He sweeps over Singapore again. Nothing doing there. He bombs into China, into these groups trying to get together with some Nels. We took 40 casualties. Now he's actually bombing directly into Yan'an, where we do have some anti-aircraft. Didn't do anything there. 34 casualties reported. Now he's bombing out this ways. We damaged 1 plane. No casualties. Bombing this group here, 24 ANs. Um, 7 casualties reported there. 6 more ANs, 17 casualties there. This is just north of Kukong. This is some of the troops I brought around the rail line to help us try to hold Kukong. We'll see if we can do it. He's going to bomb them just madly here. No Japanese losses. We took 6 casualties. Again, these poor guys, can they get back to Yan'an? They're trying, but they just get bombed every turn. 1 damage, 125 casualties reported there. He's got some air power that's out over Akyab, it looks like. Okay, he's bombing just south of Changsha. Now he's bombing down in the southern part of the country. Oh, actually, those were just sightings. I was waiting for it to stop, and then I realized, oh, it must be a sighting. So he's got recon. Okay, now we finally get to the bombing. Bombing into Brunei again. Again, I mean, this force isn't going to last. No casualties, no Japanese planes damage there. Okay, he's again directly bombing into Yan'an. Nothing happened. We're sighting a lot of aircraft. That's because he has a lot of aircraft in the air. All right, Hudson's coming in. I think. Oh, this is our. Yeah, obviously, Hudson's are ours. We're trying to hit this force that's out here. We have some planes, Allied aircraft, Hudson ones that are out here. We tried to hit an AMC. Man, that would have been nice to take out, but we don't. Again, just sighting after sighting, because he's flying aircraft all over the map. So all in all, this turn, we got quite a few hits in on different ships that we have no idea because of fog of war what kind of damage they sustained, including the Fuso here that we hit once. Um, he's unloading at Rabaul. He's unloading at Tarakan. He has taken a few of the smaller bases out here in the Dutch East Indies. We had 15 coastal guns fire at Rabaul. Didn't hit anything. He's fully landing at Ternate now. As we get into the land move attack phase. All right, he's again going to attack at Manila. He's got us quite a bit outnumbered, although you don't see it here really. He's got two full divisions. No, I was wrong. I see the second one now. He's got two full divisions, so it's just a matter of time. But we hold him, even though it's 1417 to 386. He does not take Manila yet. He takes another 1179 casualties. We took 2,000, but at least we're blooding his nose a little bit. This is that group trying to get down to Pontiac. They're not going to make it. Well, they are. Actually, I'm wrong. They are going to make it, but they're not going to last very long out here. Tarakan, he's got this group on the ground, but he's only got an assault value of 35. That's just because he just landed and he's sitting in a swamp. We have a 187. He's just bombarding, so this isn't all of his troops yet. We've got about 5,000 troops currently at Tarakan. All right, he's attacking here. You can see he's got us quite outnumbered. I tried to get troops out here. We couldn't do it in time, and then I thought better of it. Now you see we've got 6,200 troops here, so we have a lot bigger um, assault value here because he's just landing. These are his first troops there. Bombardment attack, nothing happened there. All right, now we're going to expand fortifications, and that's going to be the end of this turn. Overall, I mean, I'm a little upset about losing those two task forces off of Rangoon. In the grand scheme of things, it's not a big deal, but that was a little sloppy on my part. Just like he's sweeping with his fighters before he sends in bombers. A lot of times you need to sweep with ships, and what I mean by that is send a 1 point ship in, see if make sure nothing else is there, and then you send in the big task force. Didn't do that, and it cost us a little bit there, but we'll be okay. Anyway, this has been Strategy Gaming Dojo. When we come back for what I'm going to call part 14.2, we will go down and look at Australia and also the Dutch East Indies and see what's going on in those areas, probably Singapore and down in that area for our setup this turn. So anyway, thank you for joining me. This has been Strategy Gaming Dojo. I'll talk to you next time.